Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the best thing in the world. Somebody's nice to your kid. You never forget it. She can go. I hope she can go. She's got to support me in my old age. Oh man, let me sing you. This song is a song that I wrote for my father. We had a lot of fun tonight, sitting backstage, just knocking around, waiting to come out here. And I've got some old tapes of my dad before he passed away, singing and all that stuff. And he was a real crack up, my dad, man. He was a funny man. He was a lawyer by trade. He would always tell me, he said, nobody likes a lawyer until they need one. So, he was a lawyer by trade, but unfortunately for me, a redneck by birth. My dad was kind of old school. He was really old school. He didn't mess around, and if you screwed up, you got your ass kicked. He had a very swift justice system. He didn't warn you, he didn't threaten you, he didn't do anything. You just screwed up and you got popped, you know. You know what you did. He sure as hell didn't count to 3. Okay, that'll do it. Oh man, I wish my dad would have counted to 3. That'd have given me some time to run. But anyway, like I said, he would work, and he was a lawyer with Brill cream in his hair and a suit and tie, and he was looking pretty sharp in the early 60s. And he'd come home and turn into that redneck that I always knew he was. He put on some overalls with no shirt, mind you, some work boots and a ball cap. Never without a lit cigarette. My father was never without a lit cigarette. And in the overalls, with no shirt, by the way, he had packs of cigarettes in all the pockets. There's 13 pockets in a pair of overalls. He wasn't going to be caught short without a cig, you know. And man, he was an imposing fellow. He was about 6'3" and weighed about 300 pounds, so he was just a giant of a man. You know, and I was a little bitty kid, and I didn't grow for a long time. And, anyway, he'd have that cigarette going, and he'd look like a wrestler that you'd see on Saturday morning championship wrestling. He'd be having that cigarette out, and he'd say, "Don't make me come over there. I'll give you something to cry about." One day after a bunch of beers, he looked at me and said, "I'm going to knock you through the wall and make you fix it." And he was, kind of a cross between Patton, John Wayne, and Clint Eastwood, all in one big fellow. And anyway, one thing that was never going to happen in my life, because of my fear for my father, was I was never going to get arrested. You get arrested for underage drinking or something stupid like that, and they tell you, well, get one phone call. I said, keep it. I'll take whatever you got here. It's just fine. Oh man, he sat me down when I was little. He loved to play and sing, he loved to play and sing. He wasn't very good, but nobody loved it more than my dad. And he sat me down when I was little, about 5 or 6 years old, and he said, "Well, there you go, there's your G chord." I learned that pretty quick. I said, "Now here's a C." It was a little harder. And then here's D. So in about 15 minutes, I had those 3 chords, and he looked at me and said, "Well, you're on your own, because that's all I know." And then I didn't know you could play a million songs with just 3 chords. Amazing. And he knew I loved music, and he was tough and strict and all that stuff, and he didn't mess around, and I wouldn't get in any trouble, so he kind of let me have free rein to do what I want, as long as I didn't get in any trouble. And so I played in some bands, when I was in just 6th, 7th grade. We started little garage bands and played at the school functions and just in the garage and wherever we could. If we could get girls to come, man, we were thinking we were Elvis and the Beatles all over. But he came to me one day and he said, "I noticed, son, you're really taking to that music." I said, "Oh, I love it, Dad." He said, "Well, that's good." He said, "I also noticed you're taking quite a shine to those ladies." I said, "Oh, yeah, I like those girls a lot." He said, "That's good news, son, that's good news." He said, "I'll tell you what, son, how'd you maybe like to have a little spending money, a little folded cash, a little something there to put in your pocket, maybe where you can ask one of those gals out for a hike or something like that." I said, "Man, Dad, that'd be awesome. Thanks, nice, that's nice, appreciate it." He goes, "No problem." He says, "Get a job." I lie about my age. Got me a job at this little pizza joint a few blocks from the house. Worked most nights till about midnight, even on school nights and whatnot. And every now and then, about 20-30 minutes before we close, the phone would ring up there at the pizza joint. And I'd answer it, and there'd be the old man, and I'd hear him go, "Hey boy, is that you?" I said, "Yeah, Dad, what's up?" He said, "Do me a favor, screw up a couple on purpose, will you?" I'd go in there closing time, make these big old pizzas, and they'd come out of the oven hot and fresh. The manager would come in to lock up at midnight, and he'd say, "Whose are these?" I don't know, some guy called and ordered and never came to get them. I said, "Well, do whatever you want to with them." I still have some pretty disturbing images of my old man and his whitey tighties at the kitchen table. Cigarette in one hand, pizza in the other. Yeah, that's what therapy's for, right? Second best $100 I ever spent. Anyway, I took off and thought I could make a living playing the guitar, and somehow I did. Not much of a living for a lot of years, but always loved it. I never got any grief from my mom and dad about playing music. My mom said it best when they would ask her. They said, "Did you worry about him?" And she said, "No, I didn't worry about him." "Well, then you knew he was going to make it?" She said, "I didn't care if he made it." She said, "I saw how happy he was." I'd rather raise a happy kid than a rich kid. So anyway, off I went. And my daddy died back in '97. And I just sat down and this was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, was sit down and write this song about me and my dad. But it was easy in that all I had to do was tell the truth. All I had to do was remember the songs that he showed me when I was little, and the jam sessions we would have. And it was amazing. The song's called "The Key to Life." All the songs that he taught me when I was a kid. John Henry, Old Shep, and Faded Love. I fall to pieces and on the wings of a dove. Well, just a few chords on the banjo, that was all he knew. But in the eyes of a child, man, his fingers flew. I practiced and I practiced till I got it right. I packed up everything, just took off one night. They said the only difference is what you get paid. And he didn't care that everybody knew my name. He said it's all for nothing, you don't stay the same. And when he died, the preacher cried and said he's the lucky one. He's walking hand in hand with God's only Son. My faith and common sense tell me the preacher's right, but I'd love to hear the banjo play for me tonight. I will honor our Father with these words I write down, and as long as I remember Him, He'll always be around. Man, the pain of losing you cuts like a random knife. I learned if your chords on the banjo is the key to life. Yeah, the pain of losing you cuts like a random knife. I learned if your chords on the banjo is the key to life.